I actually love writing. I do that often, not for anybody really, just for me, but I especially like stream of consciousness writing. And sometimes I'll do that late at night or very early in the morning. And this actually was something that I wrote, it was a couple months ago, so I figured I would share it. My day is just starting, and I realize how lucky I am to have a brand new day ahead of me. When looking at it that way, I realize the possibilities are endless. I can look at it and say I am just going to work, or I can mind shift to I have work, but what can I make happen for me today that will bring me joy? That is a choice that is only mine to make. That is a liberating thought and very empowering, and actually made me smile. I think it is easy to let joy fall down the list of importance as we live our lives. I don't think we do it intentionally, at least I don't think I do. But I think when we are being pulled in many directions, it is easy to postpone finding joy to a later, calmer time. As I write that, though, I see how counterproductive that really is. Finding joy in our everyday lives is always important, but making sure we take a few minutes in our craziest days to find whatever brings us joy, even for a brief time, is what allows us to keep going. It refuels us and gives us some clarity for next steps because the mind has a reprieve from stress. Next steps could be for the next few minutes, the next few days, the next few weeks, or our next chapter. Feeling joy reminds us of what good is around us if we just look for it. And sometimes finding that spark of joy can change our mindset for the day. Finding joy can be as easy as standing outside on a beautiful sunny day and just closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Finding joy can be going for a walk for 5 or 10 minutes nearby where you already are. Finding joy can be calling a friend you always feel you don't have time to call, but when you do, it's as if no time has passed since the last time you spoke. Finding joy can be sitting quietly with your pet and feeling so grateful they found you this lifetime. Finding joy can be as simple as appreciating an obstacle you just overcame and congratulating yourself on a job well done. Joy is all around us every minute of every day if we take a moment to look for it.
I'm always in awe of how you think you're just picking something in isolation, right? And then it turns out that at a service, you have the perfect quilt that's been put together. And so with Deb's discussion of joy and the message of the song of choose the next right thing, can we not choose joy? And how do we get there sometimes when we feel that squeeze of despair, that we have to be conscious about choosing to focus on positive things? It's as simple. Word simple can annoy people, but it can be as simple as taking a nice deep breath and exhaling, because in that power, you allow spirit to connect a little more closely to you, to be felt, and you allow your physical body to relax a little bit more. So the word choice is so powerful, isn't it? To choose to be called into joy, to be called into the higher purpose that we all have when we come here. How do we live into the fullness of our being? Sharon used the word community. We, in this ISC community, how blessed are we? Members or not, we get to be part of this event every week and others that are offered. The word community comes up in so many ways in all aspects of our lives. We're blessed here to be here today. And where does community show up elsewhere in your life? Connecting you to others that you love, things that uplift you, service that you provide. It's all energy. What do you feel pulled to? So this may seem strange, so bear with me. But as I was thinking about my talk today, the image of a potato kept coming to me. What is it about a potato? I asked. But I was brought to my childhood when I remember being intrigued about being able to create electricity through a potato. Do you remember that experiment and how exciting it was? Not that you could run a refrigerator on it, but it gave you that sense of something larger. A simple potato had a larger purpose. Now, I didn't think those thoughts when I was in third grade looking at this potato, and yet looking back on it, knowing what I know as a spiritualist now, what I continue to explore about energy, I think the whole world, the whole universe is in that potato. The whole universe is in each one of us, in that divine spark of our spirit that resides within our physicality. And so, can we not try to think about power a little different? If a potato can have a little extra spark, why can't I? Why can't you turn on your energy a little brighter? How easily do we come into a room and flip the light on and think nothing of it as the electricity brightens the room? My friends, each one of you is like that. You have to choose to turn on your light. You have to choose to find that power within, to find what feeds you to take that step, the next step, the 3,000 steps to that goal to help you live into your life's purpose here. We are here to learn. Sometimes that feels exhausting when we think that. But when we can reverse that thought and think of it in joy, I get to take another step. That can feel so different. So, how can you choose to have your light shine a little brighter, to have the spirit within more fully be shared with the person next to you, with your neighbor across the street? It is not a coincidence that we have to do this work. Because as we allow ourselves to have that soul progression, it affects the people closest to us. It affects those at our work lives. It affects our neighborhoods. It affects everything. So as you sit at home or in the center in this beautiful energy, recognize that you all have created it by your choice to be here today. And as you relax into it, you are literally letting your light come out more. And so it is not just an individual light that is shining out, it is your accumulated light. Just like electricity, it is still energy. You are shining out a powerful light to spirit, to humanity. So no coincidence when someone comes in and says, I don't really know why I'm here, but I felt that I just had to be here. Perhaps you have had those kinds of moments where you followed the energy of an impulse and something changed for the better. How do we find more of those moments? We have to make choices. We have to be willing to open our hearts. A little scary sometimes. It's a challenging world, but the benefits, my friends, are so vast. Think about a moment when you made a choice maybe you were a little skeptical about in the beginning, and then it turned out to be something that opened a relationship or opened a moment, filling you with joy. Remember what that feeling was like. Didn't it fuel you for quite some time? Imagine with more choices like that, how your life could be more relaxed, more filled with opportunity. Because as we relax and accept what is offered to us, then more comes to us. Because we are removing the blocks that the accumulation of physical life challenges perhaps have created. It is an active process, active, conscious, when we can be in it together. Think about all of the ways different kinds of energy show up. Electricity is so clear cut, right? Yes, the lights came on. How does your light come on? What is happening for you when someone says, "Oh, what a beautiful smile you have today," or "It just seems like you're glowing"? What have you done? Remember that. Or consciously pursue things that fill you with joy, even for just a moment. Imagine that you are the electricity going through the walls and the wires and helping people to see. Because, my friends, that's what is happening. Not literally, perhaps, like an electric light or a potato, but you are affecting each other. Your choice is to help someone in need, to smile at someone in a supermarket, to just simply give someone your presence is flowing energy in the same way. I hope you feel in that your importance, because, my friends, the world needs each one of you. It is by design that humanity is being called to awaken, as it always has. And there have always been challenges on the earth. But you must choose to let your light, your electricity flow where it is most needed, starting with yourself. You are the anchor for your light, your spirit, your individuality connected to the one source, like a beautiful flower off a vine, is a powerful light, is a powerful, beautiful thing. Honor it. Choose what you can. Rest when you must, but don't leave the switch off. Do you not see what a loss that would be to the world? It is happening far too much. And so those of you who are here know, as spiritualists, as those seeking, as those wondering, there must be something. I feel it. I know you have said that to yourself. There is something about this, even if I cannot clearly understand it. I know many of you have thought those words. So perhaps we can let go of needing to know the how and why and just simply be in it. Simply accept that joy feels better, that a choice to help others helps our flow. Envision the world that could be. Honor those small moments as reflections of the entire world. And each person's energy, the action, the positivity, the willingness to stand in joy, that creates a wave of energy that goes from person to person. It literally never stops. You remember your high school lessons, do you not, of matter can neither be created nor destroyed. It simply transforms. So your smile becomes energy that, like a wave, affects the world. Some of you may be thinking, oh, that's quite silly. And I leave you to that. But I ask you to consider that it can be so, that it is so, and that each positive action has a power to it because it never ends. That is what will take us into the next iteration of what life can be. That those of us, all of you here today, understand that your actions make a difference. That on your best days, you will rally and help and stand in that bright light that you are. And that energy builds momentum. Can you feel it in those moments? Allow yourselves to accept it, that you are important, that your light makes a difference, that your light is shared, whether you consciously do it or not, it is shared. So think how much more powerful it could be for helping, for sharing love, for sharing hope, for sharing that choice makes a difference if you consciously engage with it. And as I say those words, I hope a beautiful picture is coming into your head, perhaps like fireworks. That yes, together we can shift humanity. My friends, you already are. So with more conscious attention to your own development, to your own light, you will strengthen what is already happening. Because the light is always what wins the day. It may not feel that way in some moments, some challenges happening today, but you have the light within. It cannot be lost. And as you share it, as I know you already are, as you share it in more and more ways with your conscious joy, together we will make this light today even brighter. We will attract more people to different ways of thinking. And my friends, that is the way healing takes root. That is the way joy takes root. And that is the way together we continue to build the momentum that brings humanity into the next possibility of flowering, of growing, of transformation together. Thank you for allowing me to share these.